What's going on, everybody? We're live, going for a walk. Just had some lunch, so I'm walking it off a little bit. Just started the live stream, so let's give a few minutes for the people to join the show. Usually takes a couple of minutes. I need to start doing that more often. After I eat, just go out for a walk. It's better that way. Because if I don't, then I start getting tired. You just sit in the car, you start getting tired. Sitting in the car driving, waiting to pick up passengers and stuff. Little walk is better. Walk off some of the calories. What's the day looking like? Ugh. Man, it's so nice when you walk after you had lunch. So much nicer. I've been thinking about doing this since yesterday. I've been thinking of getting on the treadmill more often. I have a treadmill at the house. I just need to get on the treadmill more often. At least 3 times a week. At least. What's the day looking like, everybody? Is this the shy crew or what? What's going on? A little bit of sun. A little bit of sun is nice. It's been cold here in the mornings every day. A little bit of sun is nice. Yo, what's up, Change? What's the day looking like? A little walk, a little bit of sun is nice. Alhamdulillah, everything's Gucci. Just trying to walk off some calories from the lunch. Otherwise, I'm gonna start feeling drowsy and tired. Hey, what's up, gamer? Walaikum salam wa rahmatullah. How you doing? How's the day going? Now the downside to doing the walks now is that by the time I get to the car, I'm going to smell like a turkey, like a sweaty turkey. That's the downside of doing the walks. But I got cologne. I got cologne in the car. Use some of that. That's feel nice. I think this is probably gonna be about maybe like a mile and a half, 2 mile walk. Not like directly away from my location, but just in a circle, which is not bad. Other than that, I was checking in. I was checking out a little bit of the whole Maduro situation. It's a little hot now, but I don't mind it because it's been cold every morning. What's up, Dr. Emmett? Gobble gobble. It's snowing where you're at? I don't want anything to do with snow. So, Mr. Maduro plead. What do you think about this, Dr. Emmett? Mr. Maduro pleaded not guilty, and he stated that he's a decent man. He stated in court that he's a decent man and he's not guilty. What do you think about that? Now, they're saying that his legal defense system is his lawyers are likely to argue that since he's the president of a country, head of state, he has immunity, right? And that his arrest was illegal because we broke international law. This is likely to be his defense argument. Now, they tried that with Noriega and it didn't work. So, this is going to be like the two main fundamental arguments here. Then the prosecution is likely to argue that he's not recognized. So, the prosecution is likely to argue that he's not recognized as a legitimate president. Let me see. Panama was the same deal. Noriega, this was perfect mission. It could have gone bad in some ways, yeah. But I think this is going to be the argument of the prosecution that he's not recognized as the official president, and that he was involved in selling passports, Venezuelan passports to members of drug organizations like the FARC, like the Colombian drug organization, stuff like this, and that he facilitated and participated in the trafficking of drugs into the United States. Even though he doesn't have to, they don't have to prove that he was like hands on, right? They just have to prove that he was involved. Venezuelan people seem happy, no more dictator, communist. Yeah, but we have to see now if this leaves a vacuum open, right? We have to see if this leaves a vacuum open. Because I was listening to this guy that was talking yesterday. He made a lot of important points, this analyst. And he was saying, um, let's say we go in there and we set up pipelines and stuff like that to take the oil out the ground. You might see terrorist uh, organizations like the FARC, uh, blowing things up, blowing the pipelines up, blowing. So Exxon, you want to come in? All right, come in. They might wait till they set up everything and then blow it up. You might see that. Um, you could see like a guerrilla warfare type of style of combat because Venezuela also has a lot of jungles. Um, he was breaking down in different ways that it could backfire in a lot of ways. Now China is furious because China, if I'm not mistaken, from the stats I saw, China gets 80% of their oil from Venezuela, and now it's in our hands, more or less. So they're not happy about it. So, but if I'm not mistaken, we are in debt with China, aren't we? Don't we owe China like a whole bunch of money, like trillions of dollars? So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. What happens now? But yeah, this guy was saying that he pled not guilty. He told the judge, "I am a decent man." Well, I don't know about that. How you doing, Kimberly? Alhamdulillah, I'm good. How you doing? But it's gonna be interesting to see how this is gonna play out. Okay, that's a nice little walk. Now let's have a seat here for a few minutes. Oh, yeah, it's a nice little walk. What was that? That was probably about a mile walk. So we'll see how this is gonna play out now. But they sure move fast when they want when they want something. They sure move fast. Guy was in court the next day, and now he's set to be back in court on the 17th. He has a hearing on the 17th already. Oh, interesting how that goes. When they want something to move fast, they can make it happen. I'm thinking of going for another walk, like do another mile type of walk. My family lives in Baton Beach. Baton Beach. Sounds like here in Florida. Sounds like there's somewhere here in Florida. We should take Greenland next, bro, and then Canada, right? What do you think, Dr. Ahmed? Canada first or Greenland or Colombia? What do you think? Colombian Green Colombia, Greenland, or Canada? Near Del Rey. Yeah, but Dr. Ahmed, they need an excuse. You see, Dr. Ahmed, the way it works is you have to label it something first. Then that's when you make your move. Because think about it, Dr. Ahmed. Let's say they didn't place, notice what they did with Maduro, right? They placed the label first of narco terrorist, head of a criminal organization. We went in there, we took him out, we brought him over here. This is now called what? Captured. It's not kidnapping anymore because he has a label attached to him: criminal, narco, terrorist. Yeah, you need the label first. But when it comes to Greenland, like, how do we do that? I don't think Greenland has, from my knowledge, they don't have their hands dirty with anything that we know. So purchase, but what if they don't want to sell? We pay Denmark. What if they don't want to sell, Dr. Emmett? What do you do then? So you're up to do it with other countries. What? I'm up to do what with other countries? This is Dr. Emmett's idea. He's the one proposing we take over Greenland. Dr. Emmett, do you think we can find gold in Greenland? How much gold do you think you can dig out in that land? What's up, Jamil? Like Morocco with Spain. How much gold do you think is in there, Dr. Emmett? What if they made Dr. Emmett the head? There's like a new department in the U.S. Government, the head of the gold digging uh, agriculture or whatever the heck. Take the payday, Denmark. Yeah, but okay, Dr. Emmett, let's do a role play. You're Trump. I'll be the president or prime minister of Denmark. I don't know if they have a president or prime minister. You come up to me, Dr. Emmett, and you say, we want to buy your land. We're going to give you a lot of money. It's going to be great for everyone. And I say, which you're playing Trump. I say, Mr. Trump, I'm not interested. We're not interested in selling the land. What's your next step, Dr. Emmett? What's your next step? Damn, now the sun came out a little bit too strong. I'm going back to the car. The sun came out strong though. Let's see what Dr. Emmett will do at that point. I'm like, no, I don't want to sell it. Sanctions, like a terrorist. So, so you designate my Greenland as a terrorist country. Kicked out of NATO. For full fascists, right? Then you have Bernie Sanders, people like Bernie Sanders in Congress saying the president is a full totalitarian dictator. So that's what you would do, huh? Sanctions. Yeah, but what kind of business do we do? Let me see. What kind of business do we do with the U.S., Dr. Emmett? Hmm. What do we buy from the U.S.? Hmm. Okay, Dr. Emmett, since you are trying to implement some sanctions here, right, and get me kicked out of NATO, get our great uh, Denmark kicked out of NATO, Navy stuff, rare earth mining. Okay. What I'm gonna do, Mr. Emmett, Dr. Emmett, is I'm gonna form a new alliance with the North Koreans, and we're gonna implement the what is it, Juche ideology, the sickle, the the thing, whatever the heck that, and we're gonna form strong alliances with North Korea, and we're gonna allow North Korean, Russian, and Iranian boots on the ground in Denmark, and we're gonna allow the North Koreans to bring in a nuclear weapon. Balls in your court, Dr. Emmett. We have nuclear warheads now in Denmark, and Iranian, North Korean, oh, and Chinese alliance too, and Chinese boots on the ground. What's your next move, Dr. Emmett? And simultaneously, Russia, North Korea, China, and Iran say that if Denmark is attacked, since now there are boots on the ground and any other soldiers are injured, nuclear nuclear force is on the table from these countries towards towards aggressors. I have armed myself now, Dr. Abbott. What's your next move? That's weird. What's weird, bro? If you don't know what we're discussing in the role play we're doing here, don't intervene. Preemptive. Oh, so Dr. Emmett would attack right away. Their button doesn't work. Which one? What button doesn't work? You think Putin's button doesn't work? Yeah, okay. Okay. Yeah, okay. You think Putin is walking around with that briefcase for no reason? It's just a he's just what's the word? He's just pretending, right? You have no idea, my friend. Oh, I do have an idea. And they got nukes. That's why we don't really mess with Russia like that. Or Turkey. Or North Korea. Yeah. We only mess with countries that are unable to fight back. Facts. No, I'm not from Minnesota. I'm from Floridastan. It's not a prompt preemptive. So Dr. Emmett would attack right away, right? Okay, Dr. Emmett, what's your plan of attack? Are you coming by sea? Are you coming by air? Are you coming with all of the above? What are we doing? So for those who are joining now, Dr. Emmett was jokingly saying we should take over Denmark. Uh, then I think he said like to buy it. Then I said, what if they don't want to sell it? What do you do? And then he said, and then we started this role play like I'm the president of Denmark, and he's playing Mr. Trump, and so I'm putting him in scenarios like, what would he do if I say no, thank you, our land is not for sale? Then Dr. Emmett said he would impose sanctions and get me kicked out, get my country Denmark kicked out of the UN. So I said to him, as a retaliation to his aggression, I would form an alliance with North Korea and Iran and Russia and China, where they can allow to put troops on the ground and then allow North Korea to bring in a nuclear weapon into Denmark. So then Dr. Emmett, it was his turn to respond to that, to my my response to his aggression. So now we're where we're at now. Oh, okay, so then he said he would launch a preemptive strike. So then I'm asking him, how would this look? Would he come by sea? Would he come by air? What kind of attack? What does this attack look like? You're not from Denmark. Oh, goodbye, North Korea. You know, they just launched a missile. I think it was yesterday they launched a missile. Let's get this faggot out of here. So they just launched a missile yesterday, North Korea did, into the just into the open ocean, I think. Cuba is fairly quiet these days. Well, they did like some march. This was it the same day or the day after? See, but here's the thing, though, trader. Cuba does not have anything to offer. You see, people are saying Cuba's next. I don't think Cuba's going to be next because they don't have anything to offer the United States. We know why Trump went into Venezuela. I mean, he already came and said it in the press conference. Yeah, we're going to take over the oil. It's for oil. He's like open about it. What are you taking from Cuba? Nothing. There's nothing to take. So what you would do is go in there, remove a government. The country is in complete destruction. Destruction is in shambles, right? Completely destroyed. So what are you going to do? Rebuild it for free? They don't have any resources to extract. So what are you going to do? You see, there's a reason they've been there for 50 some years and we just sanctioned them to smithereens and they're still there because there's no real interest from the US to go in there. And it's not about freeing any country. Like, let's not be naive here. Let's not be naive. We're not in the business of just freeing because our government is such good, good government. We're not going around freeing people for the sake of it, for free and for fun. Unless there's return in our investment, because war is expensive, right? We need to use our resources and money to launch these wars, to launch the strikes, right? So I guarantee you, the way Trump sees it is, we're going to spend this money to go in there and get Maduro out. It's going to cost money, a couple $1,000,000. So as a payback, we're going to take over their oil reserves, and we're going to make billions. So it's a major return on investment because we're going to profit from the oil now, right? And like I was saying earlier, China buys like 80% of their oil from us. China's not happy at all. China, Xi Jinping is not happy because now they're going to have to, if we do take over the oil, which probably we are, they're going to have to be buying from us. Investment. That's how we see it. Why did we go into Iraq? For free and for fun? No. We didn't go there for free or for fun. So what they do is, and this is not to say that Maduro is not a criminal. Of course he's a criminal. Of course he stole the elections. But what they have to do is they need to label the person something first, right? Criminal. Then when you kidnap them, it becomes a capture. If there's no crime attached to it, then it's just kidnapping, right? This is why Trump is already setting the grounds, right, for going into Colombia. Listen to what he said about Colombia, what he said about Cuba. What he said about Cuba is like, oh, they're a failing country. We'll look into them. They're a failing country. They've been failing for many years, for a long time. And yeah, that's it. But he didn't label Cuba as a threat. They have to label the country they're going into first as a threat, so his aggression can be justified. They have that with Maduro. Narco, cartel head, blah, blah, blah. You go in there, when you take the guy out, oh, it's capture. If you have nothing prior to going in there, then you just kidnap the president of another country. He's setting the same grounds with Colombia. What did he say about Colombia? Yeah, he has the president. He has cocaine labs or something. He said he's already labeled. He's already setting the ground, the bed for narco, criminal, cocaine smuggler. Now he's already setting the ground for that. So it is more likely that we are to go, if we're going to go into another country, that is going to be Colombia than it would be Cuba. Way more likely that it would be Colombia, because he's already framing it. By the way, I'm not saying Colombia doesn't make this stuff. They're notorious for they've been notorious for cocaine forever. Everybody knows this. So when I say frame, I'm not really saying he's making it up, but he needs to attach the label to have the justification of going in and removing. And but there also has to be another label, which is that is a direct threat to the United States that is affecting us. So it's a two-part label. It's not just like, oh, he's a